Today we're going to learn how to convert from a decimal to a percent. If you're not already following me daily on my channel, which has got many videos on, you're welcome to press subscribe below and I welcome you on board. Right, students, so let's look at converting decimals to percents. So we have a step 1, a step 2 and a step 3. We're going to go through them on our examples on the next screen. So let's look at step 1. Step 1 is to write the decimal as a fraction. Right, so let's go look at it. We have our decimal here. Now to write it as a fraction, we know that's 1/10, that's 100, and this is 1,000. So we're going to put 9 over 1,000, not so. Okay, so now we have step 1 done, our decimal written as a fraction. Let's go look at step 2. Step 2 is to write the equivalent fraction with the denominator of 100. Because remember, to get it into percent, we need a denominator of 100. So we're going to try with common factors to make it into equivalent fraction to get it to 100. So let's go do that next. So we're going to say 1,000 divided by 10 will get us to 100. So we're going to divide this time because it's a big number. We want to get it back to 100. And because we did that division to the denominator, we also have to do it to the numerator. And we end up with a fraction of 0.9 over 100, which is in the form of a percent. So we've done step 2. Step 3 was then you just write the fraction as a percent. Okay, so now all we do is we take it, it's already in a percent there, we write it as 0.9%. Okay, so those are our 3 steps. Let's do one more. We've got 5.3. This one's a little bit more tricky because it's actually a whole number and there's a decimal on the other side. So let's have a look at this. We remember our rules. First step, let's just go look at step 1, is to write the decimal as a fraction. So let's go back to that screen. We're going to write that as a mixed number first because it's actually 5 and 3/10. So the next step is we have to get it into an improper fraction. It'll be 53 over 10, not so. So there it is there. Okay. Then step 2 is to make it into an equivalent fraction. We want to get this to 100 so they can be equivalent. So we're going to multiply the denominator by 10, and because we've done that, we're going to do the numerator by 10. And then we're going to end up with our fraction over 100, which is the format we want it in. And you can see that's a big number, but it doesn't matter. These things do exist, and this is correct as it stands. It is still a percent. That is still a percent, and we're going to rewrite it now as 530%. It's a big percentage, that. Right, the last example is a small number. First step is we're going to make it into the fraction, and we know it's over 10,000 simply because that's our tenths, that's our hundreds, that's our thousands, and that's our 10,000ths. So it's 35 over 10,000. Now we're trying to get it as a common factor of 100 because that's what we want. Well, we're going to use common factors to get it to 100 because of the percentage we want it in that format. So we need to get it over 100. So we're going to say, fine, we're going to divide now by a number to get it to a denominator of 100, which is our percent. So 10,000 can be divided by 100, and then we do the same to the numerator over there, and we end up with 0.35%. Well, that's actually what that is when it's over 100. We can now rewrite it as 0.35%. Okay, so I hope you understood that better. There's many ways to convert decimals and fractions to percents. We've covered a few already in the lectures, and you can always go look on my Teacher Cecile math channel to find all the other videos that you've missed on a daily basis. See you tomorrow.